No, we haven't invested in a drone, and sadly we aren't in Boracay, which I kind of wish we were, but hey, what can you do? We are in the Surrey Hills and in the very spot where we left almost a year ago. Is it a year ago? It's just over a year ago.
Just over a year. A few days.
A few days over a year ago, we left on our 10-month-long adventure through Southeast Asia, and yeah, what a great trip it was. And we are back in Surrey at the moment, and I thought we would go and explore an adventure. Well, not really. We're going on one of the 3 routes we always walk when we come back here. We're going to head over to SHERE, which is, I don't know, 10-15 minute drive.
Yeah, and it's about an hour loop. There's a really lovely loop that you can do, and it gets you right back to where you started from, and it's 1 hour. I'm getting ready, and in this weather you just don't know, is this enough? Do you get hot on the hikes? Do I need more layers? You never know in the UK. But look,
it's known as being changeable, so hail, wind, rain, sunshine, all in the space of 20 minutes, I'm going to say.
And look, multitasking, we are all prepared. Tim has his walking sticks, we have our teas and coffees, umbrella and jackets.
So kind of the same stuff we took around Southeast Asia, except I don't think there are going to be any dogs that want to attack me. It's more for stability while we go on those rocky pathways. Anything else to say other than SHERE? It is an amazing little village town. Not village town, it's just a village. It's very small. I think it was mentioned in the Domesday Book, so it's got a lot of age to it, and it was made more famous by the film The Holiday.
The Holiday.
That was Jude Law, Kate Winslet, Jack Black, and Cameron Diaz. So it is as picturesque and quintessentially English as you can imagine. What it will be like today, I don't know. If you're going to go, though, go on a day that isn't, well, I'm going to say sunny, a weekend, a holiday, because it gets absolutely packed, and it's a much nicer experience on a weekday like we are going on. So yeah, let's go and check it out. It's just sandwiched in between Guildford and Dorking, 5 miles in between on the Surrey Hills. So yeah, let's go and do it.
Come join us. I am waiting in the car for Tim because he decided to go and get another pair of shoes for us, because the walk can get muddy and we like to keep our car nice and clean. But also I feel like I'm a bit overdressed. The sun has got its hat on. Hip hip hooray, hip hip hip, hip 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 hooray, and I'm a bit hot now.
I'm going to keep my eyes to the road and try and talk at the same time. It's good to be driving though, and not a passenger. I kind of prefer it. I really miss driving while we were away, but you do need to get used to the style of driving here in the hills. It's distinctly different from that in Asia. It's I'm going to say more ordered, but you are likely to meet very big farm machinery, tractors, in an oncoming manner through quite narrow roads that wind, and then narrow bridges like this. So you do have to have your wits about you. There are lots of blind corners, especially when all the leaves come out. But it is an amazing part of the country, and one that I've always loved. I grew up around here, and Londoners use this area to come to for recreation. You're likely to get stuck behind a bicycle as much as a tractor, to be honest. Cycling, the motorcycles, they'll meet just up at the top of this hill, Newlands Corner, where they'll meet every Sunday, I think, and they've actually put in speeding restrictions because they used to hammer it down the Guildford Road, which is the main road we're going to go on to get to SHERE. It's a beautiful drive, and it's bordered by loads of really picturesque villages. SHERE is just one of them, and it's amazing to explore. You get people hiking down here, camping, general outdoor recreation and pursuits for a taste of perhaps the agricultural lifestyle that is just a stone's throw from London. So yeah, I will definitely recommend this area, but be careful when you're driving. This is a dangerous corner. There used to be a really big dip in the road that they sorted out. You'd take your exhaust off. I think my dad blew his tyre out there, blew my mum's tyre out there. She wasn't happy about it. Anyway, it's sunny. easy parking, drive through the town and up the hill. And there's always a space here, even when it's busy. But also, look, I have been truly changed by my trip to Thailand, and it said road closed, but yeah, I boldly went through. I was like, yeah, let's find a parking space. I never would have done that before.
I would. Always. I'm rubbing off on you. Let's go. No parking on pavements. We are not parking on pavements. So a tip to how to dress in the UK, and maybe anywhere in the world, but especially in the UK, is layer up. Because when the sun is out, it's actually really hot. But then when that sun goes, it is cold and windy. So I have all my layers.
Yeah, which I'm probably going to have to carry or put in my bag because I'm the only one who brought a bag. Oh, look, nice bit of wisteria there.
Jackie, look, it's you, Mad Jack.
Oh, look, a power tool. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It wasn't just Asia.
But here you can see there's no pavement on the left, so we have to cross this way. Then when we get around the corner, there's no pavement on this side, so we have to cross this way. So yeah, it keeps you on your toes. I think this is a new shop. And this is the church, I think, in the film The Holiday. This is when Cameron Diaz is running. She has no time for the taxi and there's snow, and she's running to see her Jude Law.
They kind of lied though and pretended it was a pathway down here when it's not though. Anyway, St James's Church.
It says it's open.
Go on then, you open the big door.
You come into the church, it's open.
That is a heavy door.
I'm going to do a prayer. It says do not walk on the grass. That's what I didn't.
So the church here does exude a lot of age. It does date back to the Domesday Book of 1036, but I think this is a newer incarnation which was rendered in the 12th, 13th and 14th centuries. So still, it's coming 2,000 years old, 800 they're going to say. I'm going to give it 1,000. It's got some stained glass windows and they have a little a little crib sheet so you can see what's going on, which I always like, a few little artefacts that have been found. But I think the main thing that people come here to see and gawp in awe at is the story of Christine Carpenter, who was an anchoress. What's an anchoress? Well, it was a religious calling, we'll call it, that particularly women used to do back in the day, all those years ago, where she voluntarily had herself bricked up into the side of the church with only a little postage slot for food and water to be put through, and a little hole where she could look at the altar. It was a religious calling for people who wanted to devote themselves to God. And yeah, what a crazy way to do it. Truly are removing yourself from life and solitary confinement and imprisonment, I guess. Whether people would come and chat to you through the hole in the wall, I don't know, but it's a little bit creepy. It's still there, and I think you can see it from the outside. Let's see, I think Sarah's gone to go and find it. And she did, in fact, so she went into it for a number of years. I'm going to have to get the dates, but then she kind of came out, or she broke out of it. Then a few years later she wanted to be bricked up and put back in it. So yeah, Christine Carpenter, you are, well, did you get a sainthood? No, but you got a plaque on the wall at the parish church. Is this it here? I think this is it here.
So I think this is where it was bricked up. This is the site of the cell of Christine Carpenter.
Anchoress of SHERE, 1329.
Yeah.
Gonna brick you up in there.
To be fair, some of these houses aren't as big.
I don't know what that means, but there we go.
What I was trying to say was that nowadays our accommodation, our flats, homes, rooms are tiny compared to back in the day. So maybe she was living in a luxury, but maybe she wasn't. She was very committed though, and I just saw a squirrel run up that tree.
It is in great condition. The masonry is solid, it's clean and shiny. The roof is intact, which is, usually there's a begging bowl out to try and replace that. So they're obviously doing okay in the parish of SHERE. And what a beautiful graveyard as well. Some notable names in there, I'm sure, as the parish has been owned by a litany of aristocracy and famous people through the years. And it has a lot of age to it, so it was recorded in the Domesday Book of 1086. Of course it was, when William the Conqueror wanted to know all the assets throughout the land and sent his men out to say, right, what do you own and what taxes do you owe me for the year? And here in SHERE they own 2 mills, 1 church, 50 hogs, 3 acres of pasture land and perhaps 14 ploughs, and for that I think they had to pay the princely sum of £15, which doesn't sound too much, but I think it was an absolute fortune back in the day. So the taxes were being collected and it stood strong and firm, and I'm glad that people are coming to visit it. There have been a stream of tourists coming in, looking and learning about this old church, which is great to see, and it was open. That's amazing. I have looked in it before, but I don't know, is it always open? I don't know, but I think that's really good, so got to have a little look in. And Sarah, shall we start the walk now? We've been sidetracked. We didn't really expect to look in that, so yeah. I lost Sarah for a moment. She went off to
Check out the monument.
Check out the monument. There we go. Hopefully she checked it out and documented it well and truly. And behind me we have all these houses that have the dark green underneath the gabling and on the doors. And do you know what that signifies, Sarah?
No.
So it does signify, I've told you this before, so they are owned by Albury Estate, which is a big estate around here that's actually expanding. They've bought up a fair bit of the assets of the other ones as they contracted, and yeah, they're signified by the colouring, and it will blow your mind how many of the buildings are painted like this, so they are obviously doing well.
You see the water pump?
Okay, Let's have a little look at the water pump. There we go, filming someone's front yard.
There you go.
They must be used to it. In a location like this, it's absolutely stunning. Yeah, what a way to wake up looking at that every morning.
No cycling, public footpath, path, and there's lambing season. There we go. Check out the lambs. So they have a notice here saying our lovely ewes are pregnant and are due early April. So if you see any ewes lying on their back with their feet in the air, please contact this number so they can rush down here.
It looks like they've all given birth though. They've all got a couple with them.
Hey, look how cute. I mean, yeah, we are in May now. But keep
You're going to
your
jump the
dogs-
fence and go and give them a stroke.
Yeah, but it says keep your dog under close control and do not enter the field. Oh, look how cute they are. Windy.
It is super windy up on top of these hills, so how this will come out I do not know. And I have my eyes keenly peeled to the ground for, yeah, there's loads of dog mess. You have to watch out. People are not clearing up after them. But also it is the season for dandelions and stinging nettles. So I always kind of pick up a little bunch of them to make some tea for later on. Both are meant to be good for you. And the long walk continues. Well, it's not a long walk, we've only started it. Come on, Tim, man up.
And we just walked past 3 girls with no shoes on at all. And
They
when-
got to watch out for that dog mess. That could be catastrophic.
I'm all up for like being grounded with nature, but man, it's cold. But yeah, they're enjoying it.
Fair
Look
play to
how-
them.
it's
They were friendly and they
amazing.
said hello. Like
Yeah.
being back in Thailand.
Exactly. But look how amazing this view is. This is why I love this walk. Found on All Trails, an app, and it shows you all different routes that people have gone on. But this one, you have some really spectacular views like this, and you go through forest, you go through the land, you see all the animals, see some amazing houses. So yeah, we'll keep going. So we still have the bluebells out. Look how amazing them. And I think they have like little barbecues or little campfires here. They've got logs in a circle.
I
Maybe-
reckon this is a woodland teaching place for like kids.
Yeah, well maybe where those hippies were with their no shoes, this is where they go and sing Kumbaya.
So 5 miles this way, Guildford. 5 miles this way, Reigate. And just over the crest of this hill, we have, I guess, the flats that lead down to London. It's the first integer that separates and starts this network of hills that kind of leads down towards the coast. And you can see, interspersed and hidden in the hill, nestled away between the trees, some big old estate houses that, yeah, they're hidden, tucked away from the rest of us to see. And they get really annoyed when we walk through these pathways that crisscross all through the hills. So get a little sneak peek into their ill-gotten gains, I'm going to say. And talking of ill-gotten gains, the hills, it was at one point a centre point for lots of contraband to be smuggled from the coast to London. And it's because, well, it's rugged terrain and the sandy substrate allowed big underground, I'm not going to say bunkers, I'm going to say cellars, to be excavated where contraband could be stored. So perhaps at one time it was the Wild West over in, well, what are the pretty calm, placid and tranquil Surrey hills of today.
And by the way, that was not me cussing hippies, because I am one big hippie myself. I'm just very jealous that they can walk with no shoes in these grounds, and I am covered up completely because of my skin and because I'm cold. And also I do like a bit of kumbaya, so just in case you're thinking I'm cussing them, I'm not. I'm just jealous. And what is Sim saying? Thanks, dog poo. You have to keep an eye. As much as the views are amazing, I do spend my time looking down, making sure that I don't step on anything.
That's a bit of danger.
Yeah. Danger Mouse. Do you remember Danger Mouse?
Oh, you can't beat a good iron bath that is doubling up as, I reckon that will be a water trough when there are sheep in this field. All the dandelions are out. I want to go and grab some of them.
Let's go. Alright, this pathway can be really, really muddy. It's a bit drier today because it hasn't rained, but yeah, keep to the side. Keep to the side. And this is where you have to use a root system. I mean, I can walk down here, it's not too muddy, but when this is really, really, oh, and there's crap, you have to stick to the sides and you use the root system to help you. There we go, near to the end. And this is one of my favourite views of the walk because you can see right across the fields. Look how amazing that is. And I think there's a little bench over here that we can go and sit by and enjoy it. It is quite windy, but because the sun is out, it's not too bad. But yeah, these are texting me. Look at that view! Look at that view! And then yeah, where's that bench? Where's my little bench? Oh man, someone sat on my bench. Hi, morning. Hi. Yeah. I know, it's alright. But they were gentlemen offering us, but we'll let them enjoy it. We can still enjoy this view. Look. Across the road. Where's that teepee? campy type thing. There's like a camp. Was it this?
I think it probably was this.
Oh man.
Someone practicing their woodland survival skills. Local kids maybe, building a den.
It was really cool because you can actually go in it. So it was really nice, but it looks like they path. But there is one part of this loop that I always get confused of. Once we go over the bridge again, I normally get lost. So I don't get lost, but I kind of, there's two ways we can go, so hopefully I'll remember this one. But yeah, that's a shame.
So I think that this was a potential widowmaker, or it was a widowmaker. I don't know.
What's a widowmaker?
It's when you sleep under a tree and one of the branches falls off and kills you. But it definitely looks like that's why the structure collapsed. So there we go, and that happened a while ago.
Mm. Oh, widowmaker. I get it. I get it. Should I step on it? Oh no. There's water in there. I'll leave that. That's cool though.
So Sarah, what is a borehole?
Something to do with water.
Oh, well done. I thought you were going to say something to do with pigs.
Pigs? No. It's because it says Thames water above it.
There you go. Well deduced. There we go. Using the groundwater, obviously.
The old boys have gone down there. And when I first did this map, I did go there because that's where I thought, but you have to go over this bridge, and they did look like they had a map with them, so maybe it's an old map.
Okay, we'll let them figure it out. It'll be good for their map reading skills. A little bit of trial and error.
Exactly, but railway tracks remind me, we watched a film just the other day. Oh, see, look, they've come back.
Oh, they figured it out quicker than you did.
But look, what song is this? When the night has come and the land is dark. What film? Down, down, baby, down, down the road.
Come on, Sarah, you've got an order.
Wrong film. That last one's the wrong film. Damn it! Or name the two films that I was singing. 2 songs, 2 films. The night.
So here we have the decision to make. It is this crossroads that we always go wrong at, and
I think it's this. It's here.
I think it's this one here.
No, definitely not that way.
This way?
Yeah, this way here, and you go along.
Okay, I think we are in concurrence, and perhaps the old boys can just follow us as they'll see us in the distance. No, it is this way, but I think the old boys, they've taken the parallel road and they're going to go right through the scrub if they go that way. They're making all the mistakes we made first time round. Those big old houses.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons that I really like this walk is there is such a mixture of what you walk through. So you go through some pasture land, some fields, some forests, along the train line, through the woods, and then here you have like a grand oak-lined walkway back down the hill. This is a great section, and then it leads on to my personal favourite, which is the riverside section. So you can't beat a bit of water.
And some ducks. Yeah, this is probably my second favourite part of this walk because it's so open, and it kind of reminds me of Windsor Park a little bit for some reason. Comes to my head.
Big old driveway.
Look at these old trees.
Surrey on the horizon.
Oh, look at that.
All you need is a couple of vultures in that.
It's crazy because these ones, they've got like branches galore coming out of them. There's about 1 million trees in there. And this one,
It's good to see that they're replanting though. They're planting smaller ones, so they're going to keep the avenue intact, I guess. It's going to take a long time to get back to that stature though, isn't it?
yeah, there you
What
are.
great trees though. What a
So-
great view. Look at that view.
There you go. Tim loves a bench. He's found his bench.
I think this is an oak tree.
See, this is an oak tree. Look at that, it's huge. Anyway, let's sit down on our wonka wonka bench. There we go. It's more like a slide than a bench. Look, I'm trying to sit down, it's like, whee! Tim, you should be up here. Look at his short legs. Whee!
You're going to end up with splinters.
Oh,
Look at this one lonely horse on his own. That'd be me.
don't wanna be really sliding here. And why not stop for our cup of tea? Well, Tim's got a coffee and it's nice and hot. So there we go. Ding ding.
Behind me, the old boy that demarcates. That's to subdivide areas of land in the Surrey Hills when you're walking through Albury, and it denotes the boundary for Albury Park Mansions, which lies just behind me here, and that would have been the mansion house that was the main residence for all these fields and forests that make up the locality. And it has been home to numerous earls and dukes and attorney generals to Charles II, and I think George III's coronation banquet dinner was held there. So a stately home, if ever there was one. It's been subdivided now into luxury flats, and it boasts 63 of those traditional style Surrey Hills chimneys and is famed for its mantelpieces. It's a place that I've always wanted to get a look around, but I don't think I'm going to unless I'm in the market for a luxury flat, which I'm not. And I think it was the setting for some of Four Weddings and a Funeral. We're doing lots of films, English films here, filmed around here. I can see why. And Midsummer Night's Murders. There we go.
Knowledge over here. But yeah, we can pretend that we want to buy a flat and take a little gander around.
Perhaps we can. Behind, in every direction, you can see loads and loads of Scots pine, which is forested all throughout these hills. The soil is sandy and acidic and perfect for it, and you can still see them periodically chop down swathes of forest to be sent off to be made into, well, furniture, chairs and perhaps logs to burn. Hopefully not logs to burn. And it does seem that in a lot of these sections, however, once they've been cut, they're now being returned to natural deciduous forest woodland, which is great to see. And I only found out recently that there are lots and lots of giant redwoods as well in the forest, in the hills here. And they actually do better than they do in California now due to the changing climate over the years. And we have more great redwoods in the UK than they do in California. Apparently we've got over 1 million. And they're the really big ones that kind of tower above everything else. There's one over at Chilworth Manor. It's a monster of a tree. They do an open garden there once in a while, and I always go and have a little look and sit beneath it and pay my respects like I like to do. And as we come to the end of the trail here, we're going to head back along the river Tillingbourne into SHERE, and I can see another one of those estate houses.
Hi.
Making friends with the dogs like I like to do, and you'd have to be brave and bold to go through this ford, wouldn't you?
Oh no. Doesn't look too... Oh, it looks quite deep there. Tim's eyeing up the swing. How dare you?
No, I don't have a change of clothes.
What is good about this loop, especially doing it in that way round, is at the end, if your boots are all nice and muddy, there is a stream that you can go and clean your shoes. So yeah, perfect. There we go. And then we don't actually need the change of shoes that Tim got earlier. But look at that, running stream. Hello, Tim. I don't need my boot buddy today. And this house looks like it was the old prison house. There we go. Fancy prison. So this is the old pump house. See the church. We have done the whole loop. This is the old forge. There we go. Hopefully you can come and join us and see the duckling. Some benches there to finish off the loop of our walk, and yeah, lovely duckling. We are back. That's mighty. This is.
Do you want an ice cream?
I won't say no. But there's a nice pub here that we can go for lunch. It's the White Horse. And another coffee shop there, so lots. Is that a village hall, do you think?
I think that's the public toilets.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah, they are. So it took us maybe around about an hour and 15 to walk on a nice stroll. I'll put down below how long it was.
I'm going to say it was about...
Gonna guesstimate.
4 to 5 kilometres.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit less, but a very relaxing and gentle walk. Not taxing at all, to be honest. No hills really. But yeah, what a great little walk. And the sun has come to greet us. Kind of, it's been in and out, hasn't it? There we go. Anyway, bit of weather, very British.
Thanks for joining us.